So this is kind of a short, but it is a really wild video. Listen to all of the small explosions. This is not gunfire. These are small explosions, and it shows you just how far Mossad infiltrated Hezbollah's electronics capability, whether it was pagers, radios, etc. Again, these are not gunshots. They are small explosions of electronics going off after they've been sabotaged by Israel. Now that video is crazy because, I mean, damn, was the whole apartment complex affiliated with Hezbollah? Probably, but there are dozens of these videos and they are very graphic and I can't show them. But the bottom line is at 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday in Lebanon, the pagers all went off. Hezbollah operatives assumed it was their leadership, but nope, it was Mossad. Moments after the alerts, the explosions began and the streets of Lebanon were filled with the sounds of panic, agony, and devastation. Witnesses reported seeing people hurled off their motorcycles with smoke rising from their clothes. A man watched in horror as another man's hand was completely blown off. By the end of the day, at least a dozen were dead and over 2,700 were wounded. But that wasn't just it. They switched to walkie-talkies, and the very next day, those began exploding, killing an additional 20 and injuring hundreds more. Estimates put the total carnage at somewhere between 40 and 50 total dead over both days and somewhere around 4,000 wounded. I don't know if those are confirmed, but that's just what I've gathered from some of the open source intelligence sites. Now, unfortunately, this wasn't a clean military strike, even though it was aimed at Hezbollah. Civilians, including children, got caught up in the violence, among them a 9-year-old girl named Fatima Abdullah, who died holding her father's pager after it began to beep. But you know what? If you're a part of a terrorist organization, you probably shouldn't be hanging out with kids. Even Iran's ambassador to Lebanon lost an eye and severely injured his other eye when a pager he was carrying exploded. Now, there is a bit of irony here, as it is the Iranian regime's policy to shoot women from the women life freedom protesters in the eye. So rarely is karma so perfectly exact. Now, Israel has neither confirmed nor denied its role in this, but there are several intelligence officials that told New York Times that Israel was behind it, and you can probably take that to the bank. This operation wasn't impulsive. It was precise, long-planned, and quite devastating. The tools of communication, their pagers and walkie-talkies, had been weaponized, turning what was supposed to be Hezbollah's way to avoid high-tech surveillance into Israel's way of triggering chaos. So how exactly did they do it? Well, the Israeli government has been refining this kind of warfare for years. Previously, they focused on hacking phones, turning the personal technology in those phones against Hezbollah, and they decided that they couldn't use those phones anymore. Hassan Nasrallah, who is Hezbollah's leader, told his followers that cell phones were essentially spies in their pockets and they couldn't use them anymore. So he turned to pagers. He believed these devices were safer and harder to trace. His mistake was assuming that Israel would stop at phones. Now, while all of this was taking place, the switch over from cell phones to pagers, behind the scenes, Israel orchestrated a movie plot level deception. They created a fake company called BAC Consulting, posing as an international pager manufacturer. It's 2024. I don't know who would be a successful pager manufacturer in this day and age, but they seem to have tricked the entirety of Hezbollah. They funneled these rigged devices directly to Hezbollah operatives. Once they distributed enough of them, all it took was a signal, and the explosions went off. On Tuesday, that signal was sent, and it sent Lebanon into chaos. Hezbollah now finds itself in a technological no man's land. Nasrallah urged his followers to ditch their phones, now their pagers, and their radios. But unfortunately for him, these are necessary for communication, and communication is a core pillar of warfare. Israel just eliminated that. No other military in the history of ever has been able to infiltrate the communications network of their enemy so effectively that they want to not use it anymore at all. Hezbollah has effectively been pushed back to hardline wired telephone systems. Now, outrage is arising across the internet because of the way Israel carried out this attack, saying that these pagers caused too much collateral damage, saying anyone could have bought one of these pagers, not just Hezbollah. Well, I can pretty confidently say that in the year of our Lord 2024, nobody owns a pager except for probably Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon. So let's get serious here. I mean, once again, these pagers were purchased by Hezbollah themselves and distributed as a means of unhackable communications. Who else would have them? Who else would be using a pager? Who here in America or anywhere on Earth has seen a pager anytime in the last 20 years. I saw one in a museum at the Smithsonian. The fact of the matter is these pagers were purchased by Hezbollah fighters to be used as military communications in their effort to attack Israel. And now they found out.